Bentley truck, tangerine, jumping on my, that's why they call it trampoline, back on Monday, Ferrari, Friday, this is sweet, Saturday, that's just with plastic, I say, babe, it's a, he said it's a, them pretty, you look like Beyonce, looking like, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, he can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like, money back, 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 woo, money back, money back, money back, with me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all, gang, so don't be talking sideways, salty, they sodium, they jelly, petroleum, always talking in the background, don't never come to the podium, Chef Cardi B, I'm up, I see you at the again, while you was sleeping on me, I make 40 bands by 4 p.m. Baby, take it, everything you want, I'm like a walking, I don't understand what this hate is about, how you gon' your man, with my name in your mouth, I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday, this is sweet, Saturday, that's just with plastic, I say, babe, it's a, he said it's a, them pretty, you look like Beyonce, looking like, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the New Orleans Saints and the Pittsburgh Steelers. On to get us started now. End zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. Up past the 25 to the 26. It's a gain of 5. On second down, Kamara. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. Shotgun now for Breeze. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It's a gain of 5. And that'll bring up 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
So not only do they convert on 4th, but they pick up 22 yards in the process. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. Joe Hayden there to bring him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
From the gun on 3rd down, Breeze. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. They've already gone for it and made it once on this opening drive. They're going to try it again on 4th down. Breeze going to sneak it, and they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. Looking to find a lane, but he can't, reined in at the line of scrimmage. It was Joe Hayden, the former Pro Bowler, that came up to get him down. Well, they know how to protect the pass, but sometimes cornerbacks, they can also stop the run, can't they?
Is that what we call a complete corner? Yeah, because we're so used to these guys just being defenders in the pass game. How about the guys who can come up and make the tackles? That's what we just saw there for no gain, too.
Now this time, Breeze will throw. They'll roll him out right. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
And him running the football is not something that defenses spend a lot of time preparing for. But this guy has a survival instinct and a knack for knowing when exactly to do it.
On 1st down, Breeze. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. 1st and 10 at the 19. Breeze hands to Ingram. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. Forced out to his left. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, you know you don't want to make a mistake in that area, so you make sure you make a smart throw. Throw it out towards the sidelines. If you overshoot your guy, so be it. It's just the incompletion that we saw there.
Now Breeze. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued. Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. Stays on his feet. No gain on the play there. Second down. But at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss. Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
Here we go.
On second down, it's Bell. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Let's go! 8.
Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down. You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down. Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. The football going back over to the New Orleans Saints and a team this year, Charles, that really took off after that Week 1 loss. For me, it all came together Week 9. You think back to that game when they beat the Rams, knocked off their undefeated streak to start the regular season. So now, are the Saints really Super Bowl winning contenders? I mean, do you put them in that category?
Oh, I certainly do, and I think people were wondering how they would respond this season after what happened to end last season, the Minneapolis Miracle, where they ended up giving up the touchdown pass in the last play of the game in the playoffs. And when it started losing at home to Tampa Bay, many wondered if their psyche had really been affected, but they've regrouped since then. The defense is really playing well. And then there's always Drew Brees to Mike Thomas, and that has worked very well for them.
Well, since you mentioned Michael Thomas and we talked about that win over the Rams, never forget going to get the flip phone, Mr. Michael Thomas, channeling his inner Joe Horn from back in the day. On second down, Ingram looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. The Saints on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. Now a pitch out to Kamara. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
So here we go on 4th down with Brees. Thomas has got it, complete. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and that will force a turnover on downs. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Here we go. Let's go, let's go.
Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. There to stop him, Terrell Edmonds.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. And he's got room. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
The reason that counter or misdirection plays work so well is that usually you've given them a reason to think that everything's going to the direction that starts initially. You've run that type of a play throughout the game. You've given them that look. And now you're going to counter things and bring it back the other way. Almost a tendency breaker at times. And a lot of it is making sure that you have an illusion, almost like a magician. Look over here, but the play is actually happening over there, and that's where running back's vision comes into play. See the hole?
Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bud Dupree. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. They'll pitch it out to Bell. And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7.
You've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
On 3rd down, here's Bell. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. Now, after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10. Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. first carry for James Conner. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's third down now. And the Steelers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. A give to Bell. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down, needing long yardage to try and pick up a 1st down, and they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down, but guess what? It all started with what happened on 1st and 2nd down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
And he's able to pick up the 1st down before he's tackled right at the 10. They only get a hard-fought yard, but that's all they needed. It pays off the decision to go for it, 1st and goal. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now Bell. Spins past him. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Le'Veon Bell, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half. Boswell
on now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the 2nd half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
On 2nd down, here's Breeze. Finds his man, Watson, over the middle. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A final shot before half for Breeze. He's going to look deep down the field. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Dez Bryant as time expires in the 1st half. And the Saints have cut it back within a score. Will Lutz on for the point after. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember. 1st half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. So time for the 2nd half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the 3rd quarter. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the 1st half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Now it's Roethlisberger. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
The give is to Bell. They'll rumble for about 6 up across the 20 to the 22.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On third down, it's Bell. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They run it again with Kamara. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here we go.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Kill! Ready? You ready? 21.
Now they'll throw with Breeze. And he'll let it fly in the direction again. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
14.
Breeze now. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man, in there to drop him for a loss of 10, and it'll be 4th and long. Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And the Steelers set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Alex Okafor in there to sack him for a loss of 6. So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep checking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. And that's complete to the right side. It's Marshall. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Bud Dupree. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. They'll go again with Bell. Oh, a heck of a move. Man. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Here's a give to Bell running left. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Welcome back live to Orlando. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Roethlisberger will hand to counter. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Tackle there going to Marshawn Lattimore.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now. And here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
A big third down conversion with a gain of 28. Roethlisberger steps away to his left. That is caught at the 7. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll go back to the ground with Bell. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. 4th quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or two if you have to. Just go down, inbounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game. And that has to drive the coach crazy.
He'll get it up the middle. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. Is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
This offense bent the defense in their long drive downfield, but once they got within sight of the goal line, the defense went to don't break mode and is stiffened.
And Boswell's kick is good. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that things around?
We'll see what they do. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Breeze gives it up to Ingram. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. They go play action for Ingram. Now Breeze. He goes underneath to Ingram. And he showed a nice little juke, but then the window quickly closed. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath it. And how about this, a fake? And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, it looked like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's go!
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this.
Let's go now.
Now Bell. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Oh, Roethlisberger going to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll try and run it in with Bell. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. Way forward here for a modest gain. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep...
And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you got to feel good about your chances. Okay, they went for the fake off of the extra point attempt. It's a long way to go, and they didn't get there. Didn't get it completed successfully. Did someone dare them to do that? Did someone double dog dare them to do that?
What was that? Maybe they saw something on film, but do you see something on film opposed to try something from the 15 on a PAT? I don't know.
The only thing they needed to see on film there was a snap, a hold, and someone kicking the ball through the post. There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession, and to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
From midfield, here's Breeze. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. That'll bring up second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Third and long now after the sack of Breeze and the same. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
One final try here for Breeze. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. Well, as always, partner, an extreme pleasure to share a booth with you. I have to say, I am impressed at your discipline because you came here and you said you were not going to eat any of the media buffet. You made it to the end. You didn't consume a single calorie.
I appreciate that. What you missed is me going to the concession stand outside of your eyesight and getting it done that way. Look, I mean, they were serving the good stuff. I had to do it.
Oh, man, but you're svelte, in good shape, but yeah, you cheated a little bit. We'll let it slide.
I appreciate that. Always a pleasure to work with you.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. Good night, everybody.
Track how G go too fast. I don't need wear no seatbelt. Bad look, got no upgrade. Now she got. How about the range on? Who is little baby? He going in. Man, these old rappers getting boring. They be taking shots, I ignore them. Send them to the hood while I'm touring. Making plays out of town like I'm Jordan. Need to go get your. Walk on my way, I'ma score it. Lamborghini, I don't want no Porsche. I'm on fire, don't touch me, I'm torching. Had the fish on my teeth, I went fortunate. Put the time on my back, I'm a horseman. One more Oh yeah, I'ma make it a Forbes. They load me in the bed like he 40. I be sitting inside of the Moreland. Ain't no screens attached, keeping it cordless. She keep calling, but I keep ignoring it. Ain't no stopping, I'm keeping it foreign it. Man, they can't stop me, I'm going it. Man, they can't stop me, I'm going it. Every time I gone, I get another. Tryna leave me alone. No,